Hello guys, welcome back to my story on how I was addicted in alcohol. And today, of course, I'm going to share how I was delivered, what happened, and how can you get out of that bondage, and if that is possible or not possible. So maybe to continue with my story, let me highlight, you also have to understand, when I speak of an addiction, I'm not talking about a year thing or 2 years or 3 months. No, for me, alcohol, my addiction stayed more than 10 years. And this is not just a story to raise your eyebrows or shock you, or some interesting story. This is something I went through, something that reached a place where the addiction was so rampant in my life that every day was a day that I desired to get out of it. There were days that a day couldn't go without me drinking. Every day was a drinking day for me. And if I had any amount of money, the first stop was bar. Was at a place, or was a drinking place. If I had, I was stuck in between making certain kind of decisions, and somehow going to the bar or drinking comes on board, that will be the best decision for me. So every day, there were days, I remember there was a day I went to drink, I think it was on a Sunday. And someone asked me, do you know what day is this? I told me it's still on Sunday. He told me today is Wednesday. And I can assure you I was shocked. Because what I remember was me fighting being sober. I wake up in the middle of the night, naona niko sober, nasema I can't be sober. Then I go to the bar. We had a home bar somewhere where I used to stay. So ikakuwa ni hivyo Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't remember myself eating. I don't know what happened, but I was drinking. And every time I drink in that bar, I sleep on the table. Then the owner tells me, go back and sleep. So I go back. When I wake up, I find myself sober. And then I'm like, oh, again, I'm sober. I say, no, I go take alcohol. So by the time it was Wednesday, this person thought that I'm going to die. And let me tell you, if you drink that way and you don't have anyone to look and watch over you, dying is inevitable. You will die. Some die because they get accidents. Some die because they don't eat. Some die because of the infection from inside, the liver infection. And some even die because of poisoning. So you just don't have to die the same way the other person died. But I can assure you, if you become an addicted drunkard, your life is on the line. And that is how my life was. I remember there was a time I went to drink somewhere. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I smoked weed. I don't know. But I remember about 10 a.m. in the morning, ni usiku, mimi nimeenda kunywa kitu usiku saa 2 saa 3. Then the next minute I see myself 10 a.m. in Mudurwa. I don't know what happened. Those are incidences that the only explanation that I have is that I found myself there. Like the other one, I remember nikipanda pikipiki nikienda nyumbani, alafu najipata saa 8 ya usiku. Saa 12:30 napanda pikipiki nikienda nyumbani. Saa 8 ya usiku najipata natoka another 10 miles away from home. Na sijui natoka wapi, sijui naenda wapi. So So what I'm trying to tell you is, through alcohol, I have gone through experiences that, one, I regret, two, I feel so bad that God had to rescue me even when I didn't ask him. So, because the only explanation that I have here is God. Or maybe what explanation will I have? What will I tell you? Because for me it was totally different. Sijawahi enda rehab. No one could care for me. No one could cater for me. Lucky you that maybe you get a chance to go for a rehabilitation. You're lucky. For me, I was beyond that. Wale watu wametoka rehabilitation, they used to tell me, na Morris unakunywa sana. There was a day nilianguka kwa mtaro. Then because I was heavy, the person I was with tried to take me out of the hole, but it was impossible. So he called people, and that was a whole scene. People were watching me. That man Morris ameanguka kwa mtaro. Ilikuwa ni a very bad picture. Some took a video of me, some took pictures, and they sent me very embarrassing moments, especially after you're drunk and you have the hang down and you find out that people are texting you, people are calling you to tell you that ulikuwa unachoma sana, ulikuwa umelewa sana. Those moments are not good. You feel so bad, and knowing that even when you feel bad, you're still stuck, you're still in it, you're still not out of it, you will still go back. And you know, when I'm drinking, I don't feel those that kind of embarrassment. Hakuna embarrassment, mimi naona niko sawa, I feel okay. But the moment I stop drinking, that embarrassing moments, that real moments come to me. They struck me, they hit my mind, and when I think of it, I really feel bad. And when I feel bad, I go back to drink. So drinking to me was an outlet of the problems that I was thinking I was going through, of the problems that I create. And through drinking, I create other problems. You know, there were days that I would go to a club, go smoke in the toilet, you know, those days, because I'm drunk and you know the area is not a smoking zone, so unakuta bouncer wanakutoa. There were days I went to somewhere and drank and got very drunk, started fighting with bouncer. I was hit. Nilipigwa, my friend, hapa. I couldn't eat for close to 4 days. Ilikuwa imefura hivi. Nilipigwa vizuri. So these experiences that I've gone through, I'm sharing with you. Maybe you haven't gone through such kind of experiences. Maybe you are there, you just ndio umeanza tu kukunywa. I can assure you, it's not a path you'd want to follow. It's not a path you'd want to go. I'm saying that because ninakumbuka sana, I had a passion of drinking. Niko nakunywa mpaka nasema napenda pombe. You know, I drink like, and I do because I used to love alcohol, especially at that. And I tell you again and again, the worst truth about alcohol is that when you're taking it, you love it. You wouldn't feel bad. It's very hard to find someone in the middle of drinking, amke aseme, I will never drink. Very rare, very rare. So for me, I was passionate about drinking, and I didn't know that one day I'd get out of it. Today as we speak, months have gone. I don't drink. The reason as to why I'm talking to you like this, it is, these moments are not good. They're very much embarrassing. But the reason as to why I'm talking to you is because I have come to a conclusion that that experience of life again will never recur to my life. Will never come back. I will never go back to drinking habits. And it is not just me. There was a higher power. You know, sometimes we say that we can, but when we talk of addiction, like I said on the other episode of how to stop and quit smoking cigarettes, when we talk of addiction, there are kinds of addiction that are not just common addiction. Something backs up the addiction. that you drink in a way that people are even shocked. Even those who have been to rehabilitation are telling you, my friend, the way you're drinking, it's too bad. I remember one guy where I used to work in Kisumu came and tell me, Morris, venye unakunywa you will die. Wewe ni kifo ndio itakuachisha pombe. Because I didn't care. As a GM, I'm drinking, very drunk, come back to the office, smelling alcohol, super drunk. And I go even I go back to the office, sleep there. It was hizo moments ilikuwa mbaya when they expect me to work. I'm drunk, completely drunk. You know what I'm saying? So alcohol, if like I said, if you tell someone who is a drunkard that drinking alcohol is bad, you will not be helping them, because what you're seeing is not what they're seeing. When you're a drunkard, you are in a different world from these other people. You know, mlevi ukimwambia ati don't drink and drive, yeye ni mlevi tayari. He's driving, and some even have their drink there. I remember a friend of mine, well, we used to go tukienda Nairobi na yeye with his car. He in every stop, in every maybe center or a town, he stops, buys a drink, puts in yogurt. We drink on the way. I never cared that maybe I can have an accident. So that is not how drunkards think. For them, they don't think that way. For them, they know when they're drunk, they're super careful. And I can tell you, when you're drunk and you are with your fellow drunkard, you're very sure of him. You know he's careful. That is how you think, and that is how you know. And the difference between a drunkard and a sober person is that these two are in two different worlds. Their thinking capacity, their reasoning, their imagination are totally different. You know, it's very hard for a sober person to tell someone who is a drunkard something and they relate. And a drunkard will do anything, think anything, act anyhow. And that is how I was. That is how my life was. I remember there was a day we had an event in Embu, and before the event began, I started drinking. Before the event, I started just, chilling a bit, having a few drinks here and there. So by the time it was about 10 p.m., I had drunk and I was a bit tipsy. So the event was about to begin and the guest artists had arrived. So I went to pick them. Crossing the road, I don't remember what happened, but I heard a loud bang, boom! The next minute, I found myself Embu level 5, and I was unconscious. People thought I was dead, almost finding RIP messages. So that day was another experience because of drinking. Na nilikuwa naona kama hiyo siku nimekufa. Guys, if God saved me from that accident, because that accident involved a saloon car, a tuk-tuk, and a motorbike. Mtu alikuwa amebeba maziwa. You know these bikes zenye ya wale watu beba maziwa ya kuuza. So I was caught between them. This right leg got a fracture, and this other side of my hip also I got injured. But right now I'm okay. I'm fine. I can walk very well. But I can assure you, if that day I did not die, the only explanation that I have for you, viewers, is that there was a higher power. There was the hand of God on it. And you can imagine that God anashughulika na maisha yako when you don't care about him. You imagine when I got out of the hospital, I went back to drinking, the same club. Nilirudi hapo nikaendelea kukunywa. Asubuhi I was so drunk. As I was traveling back to Nairobi from Embu, I was still drinking because I had my alcohol there. So I'm just trying to tell you that regardless of this warning sign, these red flags, I never stopped drinking, guys. My life was that way. So there were days I would drink, smoke weed, smoke cigarette, eat miraa, and I didn't care. You know, people used to think labda niko na stress na kunywa. No, I was an addict. Nilikuwa nimefungwa na hii maneno. So guys, when I'm not sharing this story to make you enjoy the moment. I'm sharing this story to help someone somewhere who's listening to me, who's thinking that they can never get out of drinking alcohol, they can never get out of smoking cigarettes, they can never get out of smoking weed. I know how it feels, you know, because I've been there. And I can assure you, sometimes you don't want to go that route. Sometimes you don't want to live that way. The fact that I was drinking and I didn't care and I didn't die, it's not the same case with you. You don't know what will happen to you next. The choices you make in life, especially as a drunkard, they do not favor you. As a person, personally, I never thought I was wrong. Even if I knew that deep inside I didn't want to drink. Deep inside I knew that this kind of life, I don't wish to continue. Let me tell you, I had my face, if you have seen any of my pictures, my past pictures, my face was different from this one. Every day my eyes were super red. My breath and infection, like throat infection, was normal for me. Sometimes it was very difficult for me to eat, you know. And let me tell you, when you drink the way I used to, it reaches a point in life where you lose your appetite. You no longer feel like eating, you know. And even your family, I can say maybe I wasn't the violent person, but it reaches a point where you don't care about responsibilities. Even if you have a job, you think of you drinking with your friends more than you think of making your family happy. Sometimes I used to miss some of the responsibility that I ought to offer for my family. And let me tell you, guys, that experience is not good. I used to wonder if one day I'll become sober. I used to wonder if something will ever happen to me. I used to ask myself, God, what kind of people do you help? What can I do for you to help me? So as we speak, as you listen to me, don't just think that there is something you will do. You know, some of us say that nikiwacha pombe I'll do 1, 2, 3. There is no opportunity that will ever offer itself for you to stop drinking. It never happened for me. You know, sometimes when we talk of the Bible, people think in a religious perspective. But the Bible says, if you're willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. If you're willing and obedient, number one is willingness. Are you willing to get out of that bondage? You know, you already heard of what God says. Are you willing to live that kind of life? You know, I used to you know, I've tried a couple of times to stop drinking, and I go back to my friends and I tell them, mimi sikunywi, I no longer. So they tell me, umewacha pombe, umewacha kwa counter ama umewacha wapi? So they used to know the only place I can leave alcohol is on the counter, and the counter never lacks alcohol, so I will still go back there. I might be speaking to one person who is so much addicted in drinking, and they're deep in it, and they think they can never get out of it. You might be there and looking at yourself, the way umechafuka, uogi, haujakula, your health is so bad, your face looks so funny, and you think that you can never get out of that. Let me tell you, I was worse. Mimi nakumbuka kuna wakati nimekunywa pombe nikashindwa kulipa pikipiki. I don't know what happened, what transpired. Nilijipata nyumbani huku kwa Longi hapa. Nimekatwa. I don't know mtu alinikata na wembe, alikuwa anataka kufanya nini? I don't remember. But the only thing I know is that I was home na nimelala. So guys, I want to tell you, the experiences we go through, I know that you are there. You're also watching and listening to me. You have your own experiences. There are instances that you regret. There are actions that you really, really regret. There is a way we talk. After that, when we are sober, we regret what we said. There is a way, and you can't go and tell people, sorry, nilikuwa mlevi. No. It happens that what you say haunts you. Some of us, you skip from one relationship to another because of alcohol. You can't stay with a woman. You can't stay with a man. I remember I used to say, mimi, if a wife wants to stay with me, akae tu na mimi, si alipata nikikunywa ama si anajua ninakunywa, he cannot stop me from what I'm used to. You think you're giving out a bold statement. You think that you're being a man. No. You know what she's saying? A good for nothing man. The fact that she's there, anavumilia. Would you want to stay with someone who is just persevering, staying with you? I know friends who think that they appear like Superman because they smoke weed, because they smoke cigarette, because they drink. It doesn't make you a better man. It destroys you. You can never see it coming. Now, that is the worst truth about it. You can never see your destruction coming. By the time you're destroyed, you are in it. You're an addict. By the time your life is completely different, like mine, you can't help get out of it. Have you seen those people who go for rehabilitation, and when they get out of it, they start drinking afresh and they even become worse? You know what rehab does? When I'd say maybe spiritually, there is a demon feeding on that addiction of yours. So when you go to a rehabilitation and stay long, you deprave that demon from what it feeds on. So inakaa ni kama imekuwa starved. So with time, it loses its grip on you and it loses its hold on you. But that is through that power of consistency in not drinking. Unakosa kukunywa leo, unakosa kukunywa kesho, unakosa kukunywa kesho kutwa, mpaka ile nguvu ya hiyo addiction inaenda ikiisha. So ukitoka hapo, itakuwa ni ngumu urudi kukuwa mlevi venye ulikuwa. But when you go, that there is the will that you have. When you start drinking again because of friends and because of influence, those demons come back again with full force. Even the Bible says, ikitoka moja, then iende na irudi pate that place is not filled, goes back, brings another 7, your final condition becomes worse than your former. So I'm not here to preach to you guys, but I'm here to tell you what happened to me. Okay? And I know you're also wondering what really happened. So in the next episode, which is my final one, I'll share with you what happened and how it happened. You know, watu husema wanaacha polepole, wengine husema mara moja, but I'll share with you what really happened and how it happened and how I am coping right now and how the addiction stopped completely and what happened, because I know exactly what happened. Stay tuned for the next episode. Goodbye. And that is part 3 coming up next. Part 3 of this exciting story of how I was delivered from the bondage and addiction of alcohol. Thank you so much.